These guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
Celtics, right. not too hot. Not exactly doing too well at the moment. They've lost 5 out of their last 6, and as you hear the background music come on, which is an ambient part, is that the right use of the word, of our live streams?
I think so.
I think I used that correctly. But Celtics have lost 5 out of their last 6. Probably should have lost 6 out of their last 6 if it wasn't for a miraculous comeback after a Lakers miraculous comeback of their own and some Jason Tatum heroics. But they've lost 3 in a row at home, which I know Sam is devastated about. Have they worn the home whites in any of those games, Sam?
Nope. I'll tell you what, ever since they started screwing around with the jerseys, they've been playing bad. They went out west, wore home whites 3 times in a row. They got away with the first one, got punked in Golden State the second time, didn't learn their lesson, went out to LA, lost, took off the home whites, won, came home, did not wear them once, and lost all 3 times. It's really not rocket science, people. Nike's out here screwing the Celtics. I don't really know what else to tell you. It's very simple. It's a franchise built on tradition. Why are you throwing a wrench into things? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You were doing a great job to start the season. It reflected in the play. And then you try and get creative, and there it goes, right out the window. 5 out of 6, right in the loss column. Disaster.
An interesting choice. Definitely an interesting choice for the Celtics. I mean, they've just looked like they've kind of thrown effort out the window, almost. Like, especially in that first half against the Pacers. I was there with my girlfriend. I know a lot of people, watching the game at home felt the same way. You could just tell that they weren't fully engaged the way they should be. I mean, they turned around the second half, but at that point it was way too late. It was just kind of a mess. Landon Lakes, legend Landon in the chat. No Smart, no win. That was a big takeaway a lot of people had. Marcus Smart wasn't there. Malcolm Brogdon really struggled against the Pacers. Peyton Pritchard really struggled against the Pacers. Derek White really struggled against the Pacers. Jaylen Brown really struggled against the Pacers, which we can get into because I'm going to go on my rant about that a little later in the stream once we get some more people in here. Yeah, they really miss Marcus Smart. I don't want to say that's the only reason they lost because there were a lot of other issues that they dealt with, but
they only played like they were brain dead for 24 minutes.
Yeah, that's the main takeaway I had for the first half. It was rough, man. Like they were slow to every offensive rebound. They were turning the ball over. They were lazy and on offense. It was ugly. Landon, D-White, my lord. Hey, all I'll say is Jimmy J, who's not in the chat quite yet, his Derek White take is slowly turning into unfortunate reality. Although Derek White is very, very good in every other aspect outside of shooting. He is in the worst shooting slump right now, which I think I mentioned this on a podcast. JJ Redick, he went on JJ Redick's podcast, and JJ Redick said, if Derek White goes in a shooting slump now, you know who to blame. And oh boy, has he gone on a shooting slump. It's been ugly.
I'll tell you what, Jimmy J, very wrong. He said if they trade Smart, White would play better, and so would Brogdon because they'd have bigger roles. Yeah. And there they were on Wednesday, just not playing well, selling, giving up the game, you name it. I guess Brogdon was okay, but he had some moments in there that made you shake your
head. He was
head.
not great. The points were there, but
the box score tells you he was okay, but your eye test will say otherwise.
Brogdon has been turning the ball over so much this season. It's like obscene. Like it was really apparent against the Pacers. Like with Brogdon, it's a lot of live ball turnovers too, like just bad pass, fumbling it, et cetera, et cetera. Like I don't know what happened. I don't know. Like how many is he averaging? He has to be putting up a career high in turnovers. I'll double check here. This season he's averaging 1.9. It's not a career high, but compared to the minutes, it is a lot more than usual. Like per 36. It would be tied for a career high in turnovers. So it's I don't know. He's been fine. He's been red hot shooting the ball, but I think his hot shooting earlier in the season, and yeah, short layups, the layups for the Celtics too, we can get into. But for Brogdon, I think his red hot 3-point shooting was kind of masking some of the ball handling and playmaking errors he was making. But now that the shooting's kind of gone away, it's less effective. At least Derek White has the defense. Derek White's been one of the best guard defenders in the league this year. He's been great. Brogdon, maybe not as much. Landon talking about layups here. I know Chris Forsberg put out a stat, which I can look up, about the Celtics shooting in the paint last night.
It was not good, especially in the first half. They missed a ton of layups. They looked scared driving on Turner. They were actually trying to go to the basket, which I think is a step in the right direction because you don't see him do that a whole lot. But the amount of layups and easy chances they missed yesterday was far too high. Even ones that weren't really contested were rolling right off the rim. It wasn't like they were really taking tough layups, because they weren't. It just solely was, maybe it was bad luck yesterday. You saw in the second half, it kind of got corrected. Tatum specifically really played a lot better, of course. Like, that was the big story out of the game. But he was getting easy layups. He was working on the offensive end to get better shots. And I think the rest of the team would really benefit from following suit on that. It wasn't forced. Every shot he took in that second half was a shot that he was comfortable with. It wasn't hard for the Celtics for the first time in forever to score the basketball. After 2 weeks of watching them have to earn every single basket, it was nice for 24 minutes, despite the loss, to see just easy, free-flowing ball movement, good shot selection. It looked nice in the second half, and this is an awfully happy way for me to start this show, despite them getting slapped around for 24 minutes yesterday.
I was going to say, very positive for me, Sam.
The first half was inexcusable. Again, the missed layups, brutal.
The stat here, 16 of 36 within 4 feet. They missed more shots than they made within 4 feet. That's horrific. In the paint, they shot 25 of 57, 43% in the paint. It just awful in the paint. And the 3-point shooting wasn't there either, in case you're wondering. They were getting some decent looks and they just weren't falling, but just nothing was going for the Celtics. And there's really no ball movement. Like Keith said it. That was our short today. Keith said it on our last podcast with them. They're just not moving the ball well. It feels like every time they miss a shot, they kind of just revert back to, okay, Brown, go get us a shot. Tatum, go get us a shot. Do something.
They panic.
In the yeah, exactly. And in the second half, like you said, it kind of worked because Tatum was just getting to his spots and taking good shots. But and the offense turned around a little. Sam Hauser knocked down a couple threes, which was nice to see. But it wasn't the zippy ball movement you want to see that you saw earlier in the season. It's unfortunately different.
Well, the second half was better to me. It was not the typical Celtics panic when the ball doesn't go in. It was the ball doesn't go in. They hustle to get another possession, and they were converting the second chances pretty well. I don't think Tatum missed from the same spot.
Offensive board.
Rob was excellent. Even Derek White was really hustling on those offensive boards. He's not making shots, but he's still working
Hauser
hard
too. Hauser's a great rebounder.
Hauser had a good game. He was a team low plus minus though. I was looking at the box score
that
today.
Was wild.
That didn't make any sense to me.
Not at all. I thought he played well.
But yeah, I think you really did see a lot of positives. We can go back to the first half because it was the opposite. They were giving up on every single play. Once they got down 20 plus, you were seeing guys just stand around as Indiana cut to the basket, got easy dunks. You saw you were part of it. The crowd
standing
booed.
Around.
Did you boo, Jack?
Brutal. I didn't boo. I laughed.
Shame on you. You should have booed. That was the most deserved boo I've seen in a long time.
And Tatum said it after the game. He said he deserved it. My thing is, my least favorite part of it is the ball watching on the rebounds. Malcolm Brogdon, I noticed specifically. It's definitely the whole team, but I noticed Brogdon. There was one play I remember Brogdon contested a shot and he ran out of bounds on the contest, and then he just kind of watched the shot go up from out of bounds, and then the rebound went exactly to the corner man who he was just contesting. It's the little things. The Celtics are watching the balls come off the glass on the offensive. I'm saying it incorrectly, but they're ball watching and allowing opponents to grab offensive rebounds. And the only players not ball watching seem to be Sam Hauser and Robert Williams and a little bit of Derek White.
The proper question is you ask, next time you're media, Jack, and say you go to a game as media and you see a performance like you saw in the first half, you say, hey, how much you pay for those seats on the floor tonight? Because you were just sitting there watching. That's what I say.
We got Ben in the chat. For us, where the C's are at, a Smart absence is as bad as a Tatum or Brown absence. If the issue is one of mentality, Smart needs to be there to overcome it. I agree. I think him and Horford are huge from a mentality standpoint. I think White is capable of helping in that regard, but he's not as vocal, not nearly as vocal. You really feel it when Smart isn't in the game and isn't playing because the ball movement's gone, the intensity is gone. He's the one guy that you can count on to hustle. The thing that annoys me a lot is Jaylen Brown is a great rebounder, and when he tries to rebound, he grabs double-digit rebounds. But when he doesn't, exactly. But when he doesn't, he just stands there, right? It frustrates me that, if Peyton Pritchard ball watches, I can kind of stomach it because I know he's not gonna rebound anyways. Not that he does, because he doesn't. Peyton Pritchard fights for rebounds, but you know what I'm saying? You don't expect him to get rebounds. when Jaylen Brown ball watches, it frustrates me because I know he can get rebounds, right? Like he's fully capable of grabbing rebounds, and I'm not like targeting
physically
Jaylen Brown in that
gifted,
sense, but
strong,
Yeah.
athletic, can jump out the gym and grab those boards. For sure, Jaylen Brown needs to be active on the glass. If he's down there, he should not be ball watching, especially with
and
the
he's
way,
been good.
Well, especially with the way he's been playing offensively. And we can still wait because I know you're owed a victory lap, and I'll tease it on
Exactly.
Twitter when we start getting close to it because people are being very mean to Jack this week.
Taco. Come on.
Taco's having some fun here.